Sister Wives Christine Brown says her memoir finally shows what the controversial TLC show kept hidden. Christine Brown has always been one of the most outspoken and resilient figures from the hit TLC series Sister Wives. But now, with the release of her highly anticipated memoir, she says she is finally revealing the truth about what really happened behind the cameras. For years, viewers were left to interpret drama through carefully edited scenes, but Christine insists the reality show left out some of the most painful and shocking parts of her life. According to her, the memoir is her chance to finally show the world what TLC kept hidden. The Sister Wives franchise, launched in 2010, was marketed as an inside look into the complex lives of polygamist husband Kody Brown, his 4 wives, and their many children. While fans loved the drama, Christine claims the show was never the full picture. In fact, she suggests it was far from reality. Instead of showing the harsh truths, producers allegedly crafted a narrative designed to entertain, protect certain cast members, and keep the family from looking too broken. Her memoir pulls back that curtain. One of the central themes Christine explores is the deep unhappiness she endured during her marriage to Kody. On television, viewers saw a wife who seemed bubbly and cheerful, someone who often tried to lighten the mood and bring humor into tense situations. But in her book, Christine reveals that much of her joy was an act, a mask she wore to hide years of neglect, disrespect, and even emotional pain. According to her, Kody was far less attentive and loving than what was shown on camera. She writes about the disconnection that grew between them, particularly after Robin Brown joined the family. Christine admits she felt invisible, unwanted, and even discarded by the man she had once loved deeply. On the show, those tensions were often hinted at, but Christine says the editing softened the truth. Scenes that could have exposed Kody's coldness were cut, while moments that portrayed Christine as emotional or jealous were emphasized. This, she argues, created an unfair image of her while protecting Kody and Robin's relationship. Another shocking detail in her memoir focuses on the lack of support she received during critical moments of her life. For example, Christine describes being pregnant and caring for children while feeling completely abandoned emotionally. While TLC cameras often showed large family gatherings or supportive conversations, Christine claims those moments were staged or selectively filmed. The reality, according to her, was that she often cried alone, prayed for strength, and questioned her worth in a marriage that seemed more about control than partnership. The book also dives into how TLC itself handled the family's struggles. Christine alleges the network avoided storylines that would have painted the family in a more controversial light. Instead, producers often redirected focus to minor arguments, financial stress, or lighthearted interactions. But the real heartache, including moments when Christine felt devalued or mistreated, never made it to air. She now says she regrets going along with that narrative for so long, because it created a distorted view of her life and her marriage. Christine doesn't just stop at criticizing Kody and the network. She also opens up about her relationships with her sister wives. For years, fans speculated about hidden feuds and alliances within the family. The memoir confirms what many suspected: the dynamic was far more toxic than TLC showed. Christine reveals that her connection with Janelle was one of the only real sources of support she had, while her relationships with Mary and Robin were fraught with tension. She says TLC worked hard to downplay that conflict, presenting a sisterhood that wasn't really there. In particular, Christine highlights her struggles with Robin. While fans noticed Christine's discomfort when Robin joined the family, the book reveals just how deep the wounds went. Christine says she often felt that Kody prioritized Robin's needs above everyone else's, leaving the other wives feeling discarded. According to her, the favoritism was obvious long before it became a major storyline on the show. TLC may have delayed showing it, but Christine says she lived through the pain for years. One of the most heartbreaking sections of the memoir involves her children. Christine makes it clear that her primary reason for leaving Kody was to protect and uplift her kids. She felt they were not receiving the kind of fatherly love and attention they deserved. The show often depicted Kody as a busy, if stretched, father, but Christine argues that in reality he was largely absent. She recalls moments where her children needed Kody, only to be met with disappointment. For Christine, the final straw was realizing that staying in the marriage meant modeling unhealthy love and acceptance of neglect for her daughters. Beyond the personal struggles, Christine also talks about the financial side of life with Cody and TLC. Many fans assumed the Browns became wealthy from the success of Sister Wives, but Christine claims money was another source of tension. She alleges that Cody's financial decisions were often reckless and that the show's money wasn't distributed evenly. Christine says she often worried about the future, even as the cameras portrayed the family as stable. She calls out TLC for glossing over those financial battles, choosing instead to film superficial disputes that kept viewers entertained without revealing the deeper cracks in the family's foundation. What makes Christine's memoir even more powerful is the sense of freedom and clarity she has gained since leaving Cody. She writes not just as a woman reflecting on past trauma, but as someone who has finally found peace and happiness. In interviews surrounding the memoir's release, Christine has emphasized that she feels stronger than ever and hopes her story inspires other women to recognize their worth. She insists that the show may have hidden the darkest parts of her life, but her book tells it all, unfiltered, raw, and honest. Fans of Sister Wives are reacting strongly to the revelations. Many say Christine's honesty validates what they always suspected, that the show wasn't giving them the full truth. Others argue that TLC should be held accountable for presenting a misleading version of events, one that arguably protected Cody and Robin at the expense of the other wives. The memoir has sparked renewed debates about reality television in general, with some questioning whether the genre ever truly reflects reality or simply crafts a story that suits producers' agendas. Christine also uses her memoir to address one of the most controversial topics surrounding her, the decision to leave polygamy behind entirely. She admits that for years she believed in plural marriage, but her experiences with Cody shattered that belief. She now considers herself monogamous and has publicly embraced her new relationship with her husband David Woolley. According to her, finding true love outside the constraints of polygamy proved that she deserved more than what she had endured for so long. TLC showed her leaving Cody, but her memoir reveals the internal journey, the doubts, fears, and eventual courage that the cameras couldn't capture. Another hidden truth Christine exposes is the emotional manipulation she experienced within the marriage. She claims Cody often used guilt, religious justification, and emotional distance as tools to keep the wives in line. Christine says these tactics left her feeling powerless, but she eventually recognized them for what they were, control mechanisms. This, she believes, was one of the biggest hidden truths TLC never dared to touch. Instead, the show continued to frame Cody as a flawed but loving patriarch, a portrayal Christine says could not be further from reality. The memoir also touches on Christine's healing journey after leaving the family. She describes the joy of creating her own home, building a life for her children, and finally having the freedom to make decisions without Cody's control. She shares how therapy, faith, and supportive friendships helped her rebuild her confidence. These moments of healing, Christine says, are what TLC never showed, because the network thrived on the drama of dysfunction rather than the triumph of recovery. For fans, Christine's memoir is both shocking and validating. It confirms what many long believed, that TLC only gave viewers part of the story, and the most painful truths remained hidden. Christine's bravery in putting those truths into print makes her one of the most admired figures in the Sister Wives universe today. Her story isn't just about leaving Cody, it's about reclaiming her voice, exposing what was hidden, and showing women everywhere that they deserve respect, love, and honesty. Christine Brown's memoir is more than just a book, it's a reckoning. It pulls back the curtain on a reality TV empire that has captivated audiences for over a decade and forces readers to reconsider everything they thought they knew about the Browns. For Christine, it's the final step in closing a painful chapter and beginning a new one on her own terms. And for fans, it's a chance to finally see the truth that TLC kept off camera for so long. In the world of Sister Wives, drama is never in short supply. But now, new revelations suggest that Cody Brown and his fourth wife, Robin, may have crossed lines no one expected. According to recent insider claims and details emerging in the wake of Christine Brown's memoir, Cody and Robin weren't just favored partners in their polygamous marriage. They allegedly took things further by doling out punishments to the other wives whenever disagreements arose. For years, fans suspected favoritism, but the idea that Cody and Robin actively punished Christine, Janelle, and Mary adds an even darker twist to the story. The Brown family's life has been under scrutiny since Sister Wives premiered on TLC in 2010. Viewers were drawn to the unique setup, one man, 4 wives, and more than a dozen children. The show was pitched as a peek into plural marriage and the way love could be multiplied, not divided. But as the seasons progressed, cracks in that narrative began to show. Cody's favoritism toward Robin became undeniable, and the other wives slowly faded into the background. What fans didn't know, Christine claims, was that behind the cameras, this favoritism took the form of real punishments. One of the punishments Christine describes involved emotional withdrawal. Whenever she challenged Cody or disagreed with his decisions, he would cut her off emotionally. Instead of resolving conflicts with communication, Cody allegedly resorted to cold silence, spending more time with Robin and less with anyone who pushed back. For Christine, this punishment became unbearable. It wasn't just about being ignored, it was about being exiled from the man who was supposed to be her husband. Janelle reportedly faced similar treatment. Insiders say that when Janelle clashed with Cody, he would punish her by withholding his presence, refusing to visit her household, and prioritizing Robin's needs. On television, these absences were often explained away as scheduling difficulties or busy fatherhood, but Christine's accounts suggest they were intentional punishments, meant to enforce obedience and keep the wives in line. The situation with Mary was different, but no less painful. After Mary's infamous catfishing scandal, Cody allegedly punished her by permanently withdrawing intimacy. He insisted the marriage was over, yet kept her bound to the family structure for appearances. Fans have long debated why Mary stayed despite years of coldness from Cody, but Christine's revelations shed light on the manipulation at play. According to her, Robin encouraged Cody to enforce this punishment, cementing Mary's outsider status in the family. Christine's memoir also touches on how Robin herself played a role in these punishments. While TLC often portrayed Robin as a peacemaker, Christine paints a different picture. She suggests that Robin quietly supported Cody's tactics and even benefited from them. Every time Cody punished another wife by withdrawing affection, Robin gained more of his attention, further solidifying her position as the favorite. Christine believes this cycle was no accident, it was a power dynamic that Robin fully embraced. Financial control was another form of punishment within the Brown household. Christine alleges that Cody and Robin often had greater access to shared funds, while the other wives had to stretch limited resources. Fans remember Janelle's financial struggles during the Coyote Pass land debates, as well as Christine's worries about supporting her kids. Christine's memoir suggests these weren't just bad financial decisions, but deliberate moves that left some wives feeling powerless while Robin enjoyed stability. The punishments weren't just emotional, they were practical, hitting the other wives where it hurt most. The revelations have reignited fan outrage online. Many say they always suspected that Cody's favoritism wasn't just harmless affection but something more sinister. Now, Christine's confirmation that punishments were part of family life has fans calling Robin the master manipulator of the family. Social media is flooded with commentary labeling Cody and Robin's relationship as toxic not only to themselves but to everyone around them. One of the most telling examples Christine gives is how Cody punished her during the final years of their marriage. She says that after openly questioning his devotion, Cody essentially abandoned her household. He rarely visited, spent little time with her children, and made her feel like a single parent in a plural marriage. Meanwhile, Robin's home was always full of his presence. Christine recalls begging Cody to attend milestones for her kids, only to see him prioritize Robin's family instead. To Christine, this was punishment, a clear message that loyalty was rewarded, while defiance was punished with absence. Janelle's relationship with Cody followed a similar path. Though Janelle was often portrayed as independent and level-headed, Christine reveals that Janelle endured her share of punishments too. When Janelle supported Christine's decision to leave or voiced her own frustrations, Cody allegedly punished her by refusing to cooperate on financial matters. This left Janelle in a constant state of worry about her future, particularly during the Coyote Pass disputes. For fans who admired Janelle's resilience, it's heartbreaking to learn how much she silently endured. Even the children weren't immune to the fallout from these punishments. Christine suggests that Cody's decisions often impacted the kids directly. For example, when Cody withdrew from Christine's household, her children felt abandoned. This absence created long-lasting wounds, especially for daughters who were learning what to expect from men. Christine believes that punishing her ultimately meant punishing their children too, a reality TLC never fully showed. The punishments weren't always about withdrawal. Christine recalls moments where Cody would use harsh words and public shaming to put the wives in their place. On camera, these moments were edited down or softened, but Christine's memoir claims the arguments were far more intense. She describes feeling belittled and dismissed, often in front of others, as if Cody wanted to make an example out of her. Fans now look back at certain episodes with new eyes, wondering how much was cut to protect Cody's image. Robin's role in all of this continues to be one of the most controversial points. Christine doesn't accuse Robin of openly punishing the wives, but she makes it clear that Robin benefited from their suffering. When Cody withdrew from Christine or Janelle, Robin gained more affection and security. Christine says it was hard not to notice how Robin never seemed to face the same punishments. Instead, she remained the unquestioned favorite, shielded from the consequences the other wives endured. This new perspective also reframes the show's later seasons. Viewers who once thought the family was simply growing apart now see a darker possibility, that punishments and favoritism eroded the family from within. What looked like natural separation may have been a calculated system of control, enforced by Cody and quietly supported by Robin. For Mary, the punishment has been perhaps the most enduring. After more than a decade of rejection, she remains tethered to the family in name only. Christine's revelations suggest Mary was kept in that limbo not by accident, but as a form of ongoing punishment. TLC may have framed her story as one of personal choice, but Christine argues it was really about power, keeping Mary marginalized while Robin thrived. Fans are now demanding answers from TLC. Why did the network never expose this darker side of the Brown family? Was it a matter of protecting ratings, or were producers complicit in hiding Cody and Robin's control tactics? Christine's memoir has raised serious questions about the responsibility of reality television to portray events truthfully, rather than protecting certain cast members at the expense of others. At the heart of this story is Christine's resilience. Though she endured years of punishment, she ultimately found the courage to leave. Her decision to walk away from Cody was not just about ending a marriage, but about breaking free from a cycle of control. Now remarried and thriving, Christine says she hopes her story encourages other women to recognize when love has turned into punishment and manipulation. For Janelle, Christine's revelations have also shed light on her own struggles. Though Janelle has not spoken as openly, fans believe she too suffered under Cody's punishment system. Her quiet strength masked years of financial and emotional battles that the cameras never fully captured. Mary, meanwhile, continues to wrestle with her place in the family, perhaps still under the shadow of the longest punishment of all. As fans digest these revelations, the legacy of Sister Wives grows more complicated. What began as a groundbreaking reality series showcasing plural marriage has now been exposed as a story of favoritism, control, and punishment. Christine's memoir doesn't just tell her truth, it forces fans to reconsider everything they thought they knew about the Browns. In the end, the punishments Christine describes were not just about discipline. They were about power. Cody and Robin's alliance, fueled by favoritism and reinforced through punishment, created a system where the other wives could never truly thrive. For Christine, escaping that system was the only path to peace. For fans, her revelations are a sobering reminder that reality TV rarely shows the full reality,